A pleasant day, everyone. Today, I, Mary Love Pagarian, and Mary June Da Anton are going to present our topic, learning theories and applications. Learning theories are important because they help us understand how children and adolescents acquire knowledge, develop skills, and build values. In our subject, Ed 1, the child and adolescent learners and learning principles. These theories serve as our guide in applying the right strategies to support the diverse needs of learners. Through our discussion, we will explore the different learning theories, see how they are applied in real teaching situations, and reflect on how they can help us become effective and responsive educators. Objectives: intended learning outcomes. Identify the major learning theories relevant to child and adolescent learning. Apply these learning theories in classroom practice through concrete examples of teaching strategies and activities. Evaluate how the application of learning theories can support effective teaching and address diverse learner needs. Explain the key principles and concepts of each learning theory. At this point, we will define learning theories to better understand our topic. Learning theories are systematic explanations of how individuals acquire, process, retain, and apply knowledge and skills. Learning theories offer frameworks that help understand how information is used, how knowledge is created, and how learning takes place. These theories serve as guides for educators and practitioners in designing effective teaching strategies, assessments, and learning environments. Learning theories are explanations of how learners acquire, organize, and use knowledge and skills, serving as a guide for effective teaching and learning.
Learning theories matter. Guide teachers in designing instruction. Learning theories give teachers a roadmap for planning lessons. By knowing how students learn best, teachers can choose methods, materials, and activities that match their needs and abilities. Help understand how children/adolescents learn. Theories explain the different ways learners process information at various ages. This helps teachers adjust their approach when dealing with children versus adolescents, recognizing their developmental stages. Support effective classroom strategies. With the help of learning theories, teachers can apply strategies like scaffolding, reinforcement, group work, or inquiry-based learning. These make instruction more engaging and effective. Promote lifelong learning. Learning theories emphasize that education is not limited to school. They encourage curiosity, self-direction, and motivation, helping learners continue growing even outside the classroom. Connect education to real life. Theories like constructivism and connectivism show that knowledge is meaningful when applied to real-world experiences. This makes learning more practical and relevant to students' lives. Foundation for research and innovation. Learning theories provide the basis for educational research. They inspire new teaching methods, the use of technology in learning, and innovative practices that improve education over time. Five main educational learning theories. 1. Cognitive learning theory. Definition: focuses on mental processes such as thinking, memory, problem-solving, and information processing. Key proponents: Jean Piaget, Jerome Bruner. Main idea: learning happens when learners act, process, and organize information in the mind. How learning happens: processing and storing info. Applications: scaffolding, concept mapping. 2. Behaviorist learning theory, behaviorism. Definition: emphasizes observable behaviors shaped by external stimuli, reinforcement, punishment. Key proponents: B.F. Skinner, John Watson, Ivan Pavlov. Main idea: learning is a change in behavior caused by conditioning and reinforcement. How learning happens: conditioning, reinforcement, punishment. Applications: drill, repetition. 3. Constructivist learning theory, constructivism. Definition, suggests that learners actively construct knowledge through experiences and social interaction. Key proponents, Lev Vygotsky, John Dewey, Jean Piaget. Main idea, learners build their own understanding based on prior knowledge and activities. How learning happens, connecting new to prior knowledge. Applications, projects, inquiry. 4. Humanistic learning theory, humanism. Definition, emphasizes personal growth, self-actualization, motivation, and learner-centered education. Key proponents, Abraham Maslow, Carl Rogers. Main idea, learning is most effective when it addresses the whole person, mind, emotions, and values. How learning happens, meeting needs, self-direction. Applications, choice-based environment. 5. Connectivist learning theory, divism. Definition, a modern theory highlighting the role of digital networks, technology, and collaboration in learning. Key proponents, George Siemens, Stephen Downes. Main idea, knowledge is distributed across networks, and learning involves making and navigating connections. How learning happens, connecting to digital sources and communities. Applications, online learning.
Comparison of theories. Cognitivism, mental processing. Cognitivism emphasizes what happens inside the mind. It focuses on how learners think, process, and store information. Learning is seen as an active mental process of organizing and making sense of knowledge. Behaviorism, rewards and reinforcement. Behaviorism looks at observable actions rather than thoughts. It explains learning as a change in behavior brought about by rewards, punishments, or reinforcement. Repetition and practice are key to mastering skills. Constructivism, active knowledge building. Constructivism stresses that learners create their own understanding by connecting new information to prior knowledge and real-life experiences. Learning is hands-on, interactive, and often project-based. Humanism, personal growth. Humanism views learning as a personal journey. It focuses on self-actualization, motivation, and addressing the whole person, mind, emotions, and values. Education is most effective when learners feel respected and empowered. Connectivism, digital networks. Connectivism highlights the role of technology and social networks in learning. Knowledge is distributed across digital platforms and communities, and learners gain understanding by making connections and navigating information online.
For a deeper understanding of the applications and limitations of learning theories, you may watch the video provided for further details. Concluding statement. Learning theories provide the foundation for effective teaching and meaningful learning. By applying behaviorism, cognitivism, constructivism, humanism, and connectivism, teachers can design strategies that not only improve classroom practice but also prepare students to become lifelong learners. In the end, these theories remind us that education is not just about knowledge, but about shaping learners who can apply wisdom in real life.
Brian Herbert once said, "The capacity to learn is a gift, the ability to learn is a skill, and the willingness to learn is a choice."
Thank you and God bless us all.